Whoa! Welcome back to Tuesday night. Linda, hello. How are you doing? It's Tuesday night. Erasmo is gone for the evening. As you can tell in this morning's show, he's a little bit down and out because he would rather be sitting in this seat telling y'all what he's been telling you for a year now. He's the Nostradamus of Brownsville. Everything he's told you tuition. I mean, and before we start, and before I talk to you guys, let me just tell you this is the most uncomfortable chair I'm sitting in. I think one of his nalgas is bigger than the other. I'm sliding to one side, but that's a different story for a different time. Of course, we have next to me right here the bachelor number one from San Perlita, Mr. Frankie Olivo. He loves to take walks on the beach under the moonlight. Right under me, we've got Tim. Don't confuse me with my twin brother, Jim.
Absolutely not.
Under Frankie, we have in his millionaire pad on Fruitdale, Mr. Carlos. Well, guys, I before we get to you two that have been sitting in the courtroom, there's been a lot going on. It's been crazy, but as a parent that is invested in the school district, I'm talking to the parents out there. If you know your child has COVID and has tested positive, do not send them to school. You're just going to get everyone else sick. They may not be showing symptoms, but if they tested positive, you don't know what the other children that are around them may get and how they're going to react to it. That's just irresponsibility as a parent. So please, if your child is running a temperature and they're in any extracurricular activity, do not send them to schools. We got to take care of everyone that's there, the coaches, the teachers, the counselors. We have to be better parents. We have to be. So, Frankie, what do you got to say for tonight? Let's start off with you, buddy, before we get to the meat and potatoes of this group.
Good evening, gentlemen. Linda did bring up a good point. There was a Los Fresnos football player that tested positive. We have seen across the upper Rio Grande Valley how teams like Sherilyn, McAllen's, Westlaco, other teams that don't come to mind right now have canceled their games. I think that some canceled 2 or 3 games. So we are seeing that second wave coming in. So you're absolutely right, Vito. We should be a little bit more responsible. I don't think it is the right time for sports. I understand there's a need to have some sort of normalcy, but we should be a little bit better precautious regarding this situation that we're all living in. Excited to be here. We got another great show lined up with lots and lots of information. Thanks to Tim and Carlos. So excited to be here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, well, Frankie, we don't even have to go up the valley. It's my daughter that attends Hannah High School. Her friends informed her that it occurred on the volleyball team. So they're on quarantine. They're not playing for the next 14 days. So, it's that's how close it is. Thank God that we don't have kids on school, or how many more would get infected? How many more of those kids would we be sending home? Please keep your kids at home if they're in extracurricular activity. Even if they're running a temperature, we don't know if they have it or don't. Get them checked. If they have it, just keep them home. Let the other kids fulfill their extracurricular activities without having to stay home because a parent sent a child to school.
Erasmo is in the witness protective program right now because people want to kill him. So we got to get him through the election first, Laura.
Jennifer, good evening. So, Fernando, another vote. I know Fernando Perez voted for me. I've known him since we were kids.
Now you have 5 votes, Vito.
I would make it 6. Kat, good to see you. Well, let's get started because it's been a long day. A little recap from yesterday. We put together a little spider web for everyone to see. So these are the names that came up yesterday under Sylvia. You've got Drew, you've got Minerva, you've got our mayor, you have Della, you have Escobedo, the 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 it's the uh, Prissy. I mean, the names are coming out, and I'm sure there's a lot of new names. They said the president of TSC, but we don't know if it's the president of TSC or the board president of TSC. Those names, they were bringing it up, but never mentioned. But this is where we're at so far in people involved in what's going on. So, Carlos, start us off with how it started.
Well, it started off with the main one, which is Sylvia, and from there it just started. The web just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and more flies started being caught in the web. And they mentioned a lot of people, and they continue to mention more. Yesterday was it was a plethora of individuals who were involved in this bribery scheme and this pay to play, kind of what they say. And they were named. They were named directly by Sylvia. Sylvia was throwing people under the bus like crazy, and there was audios and videos of money being switching hands for votes, for contracts, it's something to be told, guys. It's something to sit there and say, someone tells you, it's puro chisme, it's a bunch of BS, it's not happening, but until you sit there and you look up like this and you see it on this huge projected screen where there's actually someone in there, an undercover agent, dealing with one of our current board members, because she's still current. They never decided to get her off, right? The web was really, really, thick. And they just didn't want to go out there and expose themselves if they were going to put this lady in, out to dry. So what happened was, you start seeing these individuals and these names coming out. You have a lot of names, guys. I mean, just we said them yesterday. I'm gonna say a few more. I don't want to give it up. It's like stay tuned. It's like stay tuned. But Prissy was mentioned. Drew Brown. I know that's heartbreaking to a lot of teachers out there. A lot of people that work for her. Her name came out multiple times. She specifically states that Drew Brown and Prissy are the people that are in her corner, that they make anything happen when she says they make it happen. Simple as that. No questions asked. This is not why they were voted in. They were voted in because they thought that there was one of theirs, one of the ones that knows exactly what BIZ staff members are going through, someone that's going to take them out and fight for them. Guess what? You guys were misguided. Then you have Trey Mendez. Trey Mendez was mentioned, about him putting money into a movie scheme, and they want to go sell it for $750,000 so they can make their money back. There was a lot more names out there. Adela's name was thrown out there. Escobedo was thrown out there. There's more names that are going to be, thrown out today, but we'll get that later on part of the show. We're going to make sure that you guys stay tuned, right?
Yeah.
But it is unbelievable to see that this individual went out there knowing that she had the majority of the board, and I'm talking about the majority of the board. The majority of the board would vote on her to take $10,000 from our kids. And that's only what we know right now. There's a lot more. Stay tuned the rest of the week. This is going to go in, I think, to next week. But saying that, you look at someone and you see this exchange of money on video, audio, and she's laughing. She grabs it and she sticks it in her purse, and she's having a gay old time. And then they follow her. I think we mentioned this yesterday. They follow her to the ATM, to the Wells Fargo ATM, where she deposits that money. But she does before she leaves that this money is going to be to pay people. This money is not going to be all for her. It's going to be to pay individuals. Those individuals, we found out who they were today, and we'll let you guys know who those individuals were, and we'll tell you in just a few minutes, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to everything, especially what the Channel 5 is reporting, and we'll just go for that, and y'all can verify everything.
Yeah, so you look at how these steps are being made, and I tell you what, the government is making a great case. But I'll tell you what today, and we'll talk about that a little later. There was fregazos thrown today from the defense. I was very impressed on Noe Garza. He came out like a small Mike Tyson, throwing punches left and right. But we'll go into what happened after that. But just so you know, so it is a battle right now. But you cannot take it away what we saw. You cannot say it didn't happen. We saw it, we heard it, we know the outcome. $10,000 were given as a bribe for vendor to get what they wanted, and we had current board members colluding to make sure that that happened. But in turn, we'll stay tuned for the rest of it.
Oh, the one thing that I did see, they mentioned names, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. But under the circumstances that y'all were in, people have been saying, "Oh, well, like you're saying that, oh, it's just hearsay. It's hearsay because Rodrigo Moreno cut a deal to stay in the United States, and you know what? She'll get off because it's hearsay." But it can't be hearsay because y'all are watching live video of her taking the money.
Correct.
It's no longer hearsay because it
No.
becomes fact, and she's on these videos. So I don't know how you can get back from that, Tim. I mean, you were sitting there watching these videos. What do you think?
Let me just tell you, and everybody out there, it was another sad day in Brownsville, Texas. Here we are. We place our faith with these board members. And then these candidates that are running, some of them are with a slate. And they're just as worse. Today was a bad day. As Carlos said, you saw the defendant taking $6,000 and putting it in her pocket, in her purse, and then depositing it. There was options. No, I won't steal from my kids. But instead, give me the money. Show me the money. It's right here, Papa. And then you have common phrases like they're on board, favorable, going to bat for. Those are the people that are with the execution group. These are the people that even candidates, they're favorable. They're on board. Beautiful. We need to be careful on who we vote because you have Drew Brown disappoint a lot of people. You have Prissy disappoint a lot of people. Minerva is a damn disgrace. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. I'm so sorry, but she is a disgrace. Philip Cowan, if you're listening, you're a disgrace also. And I say it because people voted for you and Minerva. And what did you do? You lost our trust today because Carlos and I were there and we heard the testimony. You took money and you sold a vote. How can you sell a vote? You don't sell a vote.
The cat's out of the bag. The cat's out of the bag.
Pardon?
The cat's out of the bag.
Frankie,
The business of government is to compromise. And that goes with every organization. You compromise.
Yeah.
But you don't compromise your integrity. You don't compromise your ethics. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
Pathetic. Just pathetic. They failed every voter that voted for them. And I'm talking about Drew, Minerva, Philip, Prissy. You failed miserably.
And Cowan.
Oh, yeah. I thought I said Philip, but Cowan.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
So
Miserable.
we're going to say a little later, Tim, but you already let the cat out of the bag. That's good. I'm glad you did.
Sorry, I just got carried away, man.
I know. It's okay.
yeah, question here regarding Erasmo's post from Nolan Navarro about Valley photographers with another sexual offender, Martin Leal, ain't here related to Eddie Garcia?
I don't know who Valley Photographers is, but if they're talking about the Leal family from the from Angelita's Cafe. Yeah, there is the son, I think, is a sexual offender, registered sexual offender, who also is in the camp with Eddie Garcia. I don't know what's going on with Eddie. Like he brings all these sex offenders, and 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 unfortunately, they're rapists. They're rapists of children, and he has them all over his camp. And I understand people don't like me to say that. He's got a lot of police officers that were his partners. I saw a bunch of people. Eddie, you're the best. You're my partner. That might be true and everything, but you know what? You lose total respect when you bring in pedophiles into your camp when you're going to be vying for a position at a school district that has over 40,000 kids. I'm sorry, no respect for you guys. So with that said, what else do we got?
Because remember that situation where the undercover agent's talking to Dr. Atkinson, and he's telling her that he likes the situation that she's in because she's in a position of power. She knows people in power, and if there needs to be people that they need to bribe, he doesn't have a problem spending money to bribe people. Just what it said. And then Dr. Atkinson says, people like us having a life passion. Yeah, life passion it is. Pura rata, bribes, and destroying people's lives, and being mean and just so vile with other people, putting them down so you can make yourself up, fluff your wing, your feathers. It's not a pretty situation.
Will the new BISD board members fire all these BISD top main office corrupt administrators? Well, it's no secret, Mr. Anduisa, that Sylvia put all her buddies in key positions to make sure that she had a stranglehold on every department at BISD. So that's something that we will certainly look into. We will make sure that the individuals, especially at the top, they have to reapply. We have to cleanse this district, because for far too long they have put their buddies. Look at how many Atkinsons are making over $100,000. That's a disgrace that they have used this position for their own enrichment. That's got to stop.
And you know what? Let me tell you. Go back to that same question. I don't like you, Vito, the way you skip questions. You're too fast.
Sorry, buddy.
Question. I'm gonna fire you up when this damn show's over. Where's that Osmo? Bring him back.
And I'll tell you why it's slower.
I think you're at Osmo 2.0, but no, you got the 0.0.
He has chubby finger syndrome. That's why it takes so long to press.
Let me tell you one thing, Frankie. You hit the nail on the head. Agustin, it's not about just firing them, because it'd be easy to do that. It's about making sure that you go and you audit those administrators and you show the public what they have done and how they faced and degraded our BISD family. You need to understand, because you can fire them and they can go somewhere else. But if they have stolen from this community, and they have stolen from the school district, and they have taken away jobs and monies that belong to our staff and our kids, then they need to be exposed, just like Atkinson is being exposed right now. And guess what? Atkinson is exposing a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
He's not done yet. This is only day number two, guys. Day number 2. And she's already gone through city officials, county officials, the mayor, administrators, board members. She even mentioned senators. And she mentioned people way up at the top in Austin. That hasn't come out yet, guys.
Yeah.
It has not even hit the tip of the icebergs. This is unbelievable what we've been seeing the last 2 days. And we're talking about only 16 hours of testimony, guys. Only 16 hours of testimony. And look at the picture that Erasmo 0.2 just showed. You look at the gamut of individuals that are there, and you look at it, they're all top officials. They're all people that are in positions where they were trusted to be put in.
Yep.
And they've turned around and slapped every individual. And you still have people like Tito Mata. Oh, great job, Minerva. Look what just happened. And we're going to talk about that, Tito. Look what he's doing. Eddie Garcia, great job, Eddie. You got a pedophile in your camp. You shouldn't be getting any applause from anybody. You should be getting advice. Get those individuals off your camp, Eddie. I would have respected you more if you would have done that day one. But guess what? No, go in and put a shirt of Eddie Garcia because you want to throw it in in the face of the people who are out there yelling at you and telling you that is wrong. So you put a shirt on a pedophile and you put him into your camp. Anyway, but no, going back to the question, we really need to get something there. We need to go and make sure that these people, the light is turned on in these departments where they are stealing or they are doing something wrong. It's not just easy just to fire them because that's the easy thing.
Yeah.
Firing is really easy, but make sure that they're held accountable for the actions that they've done. Thank you.
Hold them accountable for what's going on. Everybody will see the light of what's happening and how the people got their positions. And that's why we're here. You know, and that's another thing, the slate, how they mentioned the slate, especially with us. I mean, we didn't go to a meeting together, Frankie, Carlos, Erasmo, Marita. We don't all sit at a table and say, okay, we're all going to run together. The slate was put together by the community, the people on social media, the people that say, we need to vote for these guys. We need to vote for myself, for Frankie, for Carlos, Marisa, or Coach Joe, or Erasmo. They put us together. There was no powwow, but the powwow that we see on the other side, that because, you know, as it's been noted, we are the dark side. But if you look at the other side, that the vendors are giving them all the money in the world. I mean, we're talking, my candidate has been given almost $50,000 for a seat that does not pay anything. How bad is that seat? So you've got the people in y'all's races that have, you know, the line boggers, even a company that sold the temperature face kiosks gave money to them. And that's a company that's never done business in Brownsville. So was that a donation to, hey, I support your campaign? Or was that hey, here, let me give you some money so you buy our product, you know? And the way it's going from what Channel 5 said of Sylvia paying off board members to buy their votes, is starting to, you know, all the pieces of the puzzle are starting to fall into place, and they're falling in place in front of everyone.
Hey,
Viro,
did you want to talk about that? What we found out? Where the news?
Yeah, guys. Today we got two breaking news on two current board members. Can you guys discuss the details as to what was said by Sylvia Atkinson today?
Sure. We're gonna take a commercial break here now. We'll be back in. I'm just kidding, guys. Just kidding. There's no commercial breaks here. Actually, what we found out today through the testimony of Sylvia Atkinson, of course, the government's number one witness, was that there was a couple of board members. You know, this whole thing about getting something pushed on as an agenda by direction of Sylvia Atkinson through her majority board, right? And so they talk about how and what she was doing and how she was doing it, and how much money she took. She took over $10,000, right, just to get this board agenda item. Well, when she brought it to the president of the board, you know, she says in her own words, she brought it to Minnie. She says the word Minnie, and we all can reference who that is. She says, let me read it. So it says, there's a lot of notes. I took a lot of notes, guys.
There we go. BIST product that doesn't understand his own handwriting.
No, it's just got a bunch of notes, bro. I got like pages and pages of all the stuff that was going on. You know, it's very hard to because it's just back and forth, and you're trying to decipher, you know, what happened, where did it happen, and how it happened, and you know they're going back and forth. Well, let me tell you, it's just the gist of it. And so what happens is that she's bringing this agenda item to make sure that there's a movie that was being conducted by Trey Mendez and her and two other individuals and Sylvia Atkinson, right? And so she's trying to push this so that the way she's able to bring these Indian people from India to come and pay some money, right? And so she needs the school district to pass a resolution making sure that this movie is allowed to play in the school district. Well, she goes to her president, which is Minnie, and Minnie doesn't like it, right? Minnie doesn't like it. Philip Count doesn't like it. And Osmo definitely doesn't like it because she mentioned that Osmo. And Osmo was the only one that was skittish about it. And and to actually quote her was, he's always asking for more information. He wants to know everything.
Yeah.
She mentioned that Osmo as being the only one that was skittish about her bringing this agenda through. So let's go back to Minnie. So she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it. So here, Sylvia Atkinson says, well, I had to vote. So I had to give up 2 votes so I can get their yes vote. Plus, I had to give $2,000 to Minnie to put into a organization, the Mile of Hope, right? So she had to get $2,000 to donate to Minnie's organization so she can get a yes vote, and she got a yes vote. And then it says, and Philip too. So Philip also. So those are the 2 board members that sold their vote to Sylvia to be able to get a yes vote to bring in this agenda item through, and it passed. But here's the kicker, guys. It doesn't stop there, guys. I made a couple of calls to individuals from Mile of Hope to see if there was ever $2,000 deposited from Minerva Peña to the organization. Guess what the answer is? Guess what the answer was, guys?
Well, it has to be yes.
Wrong. Next. Anybody else want to guess?
Well, there's only maybe.
You kept it.
Wrong. There
Wow.
was no monies deposited by Minerva Peña into the Mile of Hope.
Wow.
That just leads us to believe that they maybe disappeared or she took them with her, right?
Wow.
So that's how bad this is. How bad this collusion between these board members who are running, guys, who are actually running right now. And that's why I went back to Tito, because Tito goes out there and applauds this lady for the actions that she did now. She is taking monies away from these kids, from these staff, from these programs, from special ed, and from everything that falls under the umbrella of BISD for $2,000, guys.
Well, actually,
$2,000, guys. She sold her vote to Sylvia Atkinson to be able to bring a company who was an undercover agent into the district. Her and Philip Cowan are mentioned by Sylvia Atkinson in the testimony and the recorded messages from the government's #1 witness. These are the individuals that are out there saying, BISD proud, believe in me. I am the voice that is going to continue doing what I've been doing for the last 4 years. We don't need them. We don't need them. We need to stop that. This is not coming from me, guys. This is not coming from Tim. This is coming straight from the mouth of the undercover agent and Sylvia Atkinson, who was recorded saying it to them. It didn't come from me, guys.
Frankie, what are you thinking about this? That they're taking 2,000 each.
You know, it's very interesting, guys. Today, KRGV did post the article shortly after the federal government recessed for day 2 of the federal bribery charge against Dr. Sylvia Atkinson. And in that article, I'll be posting that article shortly. It states at the very bottom, her lobbying campaign included a $2,000 donation to a local nonprofit organization, which helped secure school board president Minerva Peña's vote. According to the testimony, Peña has not been arrested or accused of any crime yet. We have seen how time and time again, guys, our opponents, the slate, have been actively supported by Baltasar Salazar, Drew Brown, and Sylvia Atkinson. Here we have a text message, a mass text message that was sent out by Baltasar Salazar endorsing his candidates, Minerva Peña, who we know now accepted a quid pro quo for a vote. At first, the government says that she was not playing ball with Sylvia Atkinson. But as we all know, money makes the perrito dance, how the saying goes. Con el dinero baila el perro. So we have a president of the school board who did the Robin Hood, take from the rich, give to the nonprofit. But now we have confirmation from Carlos Elizondo, from Tim Ramirez, that this is not so. So we have a school board president who's being endorsed by Baltasar Salazar, along with Daniela Valdez, along with Denise Garza, with Jessica Gonzalez, and with Eddie Garcia doing this. And we have more proof. The proof is in the pudding, guys. Let me scroll up here. I'm sorry. Here we have a campaign finance report that was done late. In my opinion, I think this was done very, very late because we have, as candidates, we have 2 campaign finance reports we have to do before the election. One 30 days before and one 8 days before. So the one 30 days before, you get to know, to see who is supporting these candidates. Candidates usually wait to file this information 8 days before, because usually the community is not aware, and sometimes it's too late because they do early voting. Well, here we have Baltasar Salazar spending $5,000 on mail-outs or political advertisement, and a couple days later, another $2,000. So we have the school board president spending $7,000. Now get this, $7,000. I spent that on my own throughout the whole campaign. He spent it in 1 week for the board president. What does that tell you, guys? Why does Baltasar Salazar want to keep Minerva Peña on this board so badly? Why? See past the smoke screen, guys. We'll be discussing this a little bit later, shortly. Also, Dave Brown. Is that the sportscaster?
Yeah.
Is he the husband of Drew Brown?
Yep.
Again, why are these candidates doing this? Because they want to keep their people in place. We candidates, we have promised an external audit to be done, and these individuals are so adamant about wanting to keep their stranglehold on the district. Dave Brown is Drew Brown's husband. Liz Vera down here that gave a $300 campaign donation. Well, I wouldn't say donation. It's more like a, hey, don't fire my brother.
Gift.
Is Baltasar Salazar's sister. Liz Vera is Baltasar Salazar's sister. So we have Baltasar Salazar spending $7,000 in 1 week on mailouts, on making sure that Minerva Peña gets reelected. Also, Minerva told Pat that she wanted to file this campaign report until after the election. Why? Because she knew that the evidence was going to come out. She was worried. She didn't want the community to know that this evidence was going to come out. And look, here we have Drew Brown and her candidates, Daniela Valdez, Denise Garza, Minerva Peña, and Eddie Garcia. Again, we have Baltasar Salazar giving tons of money and sending mass text messages for his slate. We have Drew Brown having her husband. And what a shame, Dave Brown, the sportscaster, always thought very highly of him. I know that Drew Brown decimated the Brown name. And these are her candidates. This is her slate. These are the individuals that are going to let Sylvia Atkinson continue her reign on BISD. Now, my question to our community, is this what we want? Is this what we want from a president who's always talking about God, who's always saying, oh, let me piggyback off of you? Do we want to give her another 4 years?
Hell no.
This is her campaign, her campaign slogan. Minerva Peña, BISD, place 6, 12 years of selling my BISD vote. And please look at the bottom. Please look at the bottom, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Community, don't reelect. It is not a coincidence that we have Baltasar Salazar spending tons of cash in 1 week. It is not a coincidence that he sends mass text messages for Denise, for Jessica Gonzalez, for Minerva Peña, for Eddie Garcia, for Daniela Lopez. And it's no coincidence that Drew Brown is actively supporting these candidates. My question to you, community members, Do we need another 4 years of somebody like Minerva Peña, like Phil Cowan, that's going to sell their vote, our vote on that seat? We all know the answer to that.
Oh yeah.
Well, let me just add that today we left disgusted. Carlos left with a headache. I left with an upset stomach. That's why I'm drinking my mineral water. And we just need to hold these people, everyone, accountable. And right now, they have been failing miserably, and that's because it's all coming out to light. Otherwise, we wouldn't know. This happened a a year ago, 2 years ago. All this is it's terrible. Now, I'm gonna be bold to invite two individuals to go to court so they can listen to the people that they have endorsed. I'm gonna invite Patrick Hamas and Albert Alegria. You man enough? Go. You see, check out the people that you're endorsing. You're gonna come out. Well, no, it might not affect you. So far, it's not affected you. You haven't denounced anything. You're just riding the wave. It is pitiful.
Speaking of inviting people, while y'all were sitting there in the gallery, was there anyone from the school district sitting alongside y'all?
Mary Tolman.
Anyone else? Anyone that you said, hey, why are they here?
Not that I didn't recognize anybody other than Mary Tolman, and there was a couple of BISD staff members, but no one as administrators. Let me tell you why. Because Sylvia is so adamant that she's going to get away with this. So people are scared to go show their face because she has ruined many, many lives, many, many families just by being who she is. So I think that because of that, people don't want to show up. People don't want to go over there and see the evidence, the stacked evidence against this individual and what she has done. And who else is involved? But you have Minerva Peña involved, taking $2,000 for a vote, for selling her vote. Philip Cowan selling his vote. And these are not my words. These are the words that are coming straight from Sylvia Atkinson in a recorded conversation. Yep. Drew Brown, she reflects on an instance where, and this is recorded, where she asked $25,000 for her slate per member, and she wanted some too. Her slate, her BISD slate, her TSC slate, her City of Brownsville slate. She would ask $25,000 per head plus me too.
Oh yeah.
On that same recording, was there anyone else mentioned throughout the city?
Yes. You want me to tell you? Are you asking me?
That's why we're here.
No, are you asking me? Are you asking me?
I mean, that recording had to have been mentioned.
This is what the recording says. And this is what she's telling the undercover agent. Anything you want in the county, don't worry about it. I got plenty of people there. I never had an issue getting things taken care of. This is a county.
Wow.
Didn't say any names, but said county. For the city, same thing. But there she did say, I've got Galansky. I've got John Cowan. I've got,
wow.
And I even have Ben Neese
on board.
Now I know why I got screwed. I was stacked up against the majority of the city of Brownsville. There's no way.
Wow.
I was gonna win. I know that, but she is paying. Sylvia Atkinson is paying for everything that she has done to every individual. But those are her words, and then she stepped up a little higher. Cornyn's office, Ted Cruz's office, people in Austin. She knows them all. She can take care of anything that needs to be done, as long there's a lot of this.
Wow.
I'm not playing the smallest violin in the world. I'm talking about money, lots and lots of monies. 7 zeros, 8 zeros behind those.
Well, there was mention on Channel 5 News that there was involvement also by the county. That there was land that you could
That's
get.
right. There's 3 places of land. There's 3 places of land that they're up for sale, but they want to keep it as quiet as possible, because if people find out that BISD is looking at this land, then the prices will go straight up. So she mentioned 15,000 per acre, but if people find out that BISD is looking, it'll go to 60,000 an acre. Where that land is wasn't said, but yes, it is true. They did allude to that fact that there was some property being looked at. What else? What else do you want to know?
You know what, Carlos? Shortly after that, Atkinson was telling Rodrigo that she had everybody on board. Like you said, Prissy, Drew, Minnie, and they were going to pull the plug on Dr. Sendejas.
Yeah.
That's what fired.
So they colluded?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
What the conversation was is that Dr. Zendejas was actually a speed bump, and they didn't use a speed bump factor, but that's what they kind of mentioned. I'm trying to make it easier for everybody to see, is that Dr. Zendejas was the one that was stopping them from going out there and doing these things, to putting these agenda items that were just going to ruin the district and put money in the pockets of these individuals. So what they said, these were the exact words. Let me go back to my notes.
Plug.
So and we're talking about a meeting that happened on 1/17/2019. It's just, let me go back to the previous one. It says, pull the plug on the lady. So
Damn. That's
pull the
mafia talk
plug
right there,
on the lady.
guys.
Next board meeting is to fire Dr. Z on January or February.
Yeah.
Drew is on board, as per Sylvia Atkinson. Drew wants Rodrigo Moreno on a marketing committee. Guess what happens February meeting? Suspended Dr. Z and hire Dr. Hatton so Sylvia can pass agenda items. Dr. Z is against Sylvia Atkinson all the time. Sylvia Atkinson asking for special call meeting to investigate Dr. Z. Tell me if there was no collusion there. They had to be voted before even the meeting had occurred. You're talking about your board president, Philip Cowan, Drew, Prissy, Sylvia. They had colluded before the meeting ever occurred. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Carlos, Tim, you have an attorney. You have an ex DPS officer. You have 2 women with doctoral degrees, Prissy, Atkinson, and you have Drew Brown, the white hope of BISD, colluding
Yep.
to get rid of Dr. Sendejas. This is something, guys, that Erasmo Castro has been saying for the longest time. This is the reason why they really amped it up for his DWI. This is why they made all those false police reports. And you know what Erasmo's saying? You guys are full of it. He was the only one that was standing up to that big wave, to that big machine. And you know what they did? They persecuted him. They went far and beyond to make sure that they made him look horrible. And he stood firm and he said, you know what? Y'all are horrible people. Y'all are going to get what's coming to y'all. It's coming. It's coming. Nobody believed him. Nobody believed him. And now it's coming full circle. How these individuals colluded to get rid of Dr. Sendejas. I'm sure they did the same at the county with Carlos Elizondo.
Yeah.
What haven't they done to other people? If these are individuals who were Carlos Elizondo, Erasmo Castro, who were sitting board members supported by the community, they do this to. Imagine what they do to teachers. Imagine what they do to principals that are not in line, to
Mhm.
counselors. This is what we're facing, city of Brownsville. This is what we're up against. A machine that controls a $500 million industry, a business. I'm sorry, a $500 million Fortune 500 company. That's why Baltasar Salazar is so eager to hold on to it. Guys, I just thought about this. You know why Philip Cowan didn't want to fire Baltasar Salazar? Because he's part of the group.
Of course.
He said, "Why?" He said, "Why am I going to fire this guy?
Yeah. He
He's
can't.
part of the group."
He's
It
taking,
all makes sense now.
Let me tell you, Frankie, what's happening, and you're alluding to it, is that if they were to bring a new board that shares the same common goal to make sure the district moves forward and goes back and audits and looks at everything that this current board did and with who and where the money has gone, believe me, these people would be connected to that. They are starting to come out little by little by Sylvia Atkinson's testimony, by Sylvia Atkinson's, being recorded in these dark rooms, these shadows, these areas where there's money being pushed around. She got caught. And everybody that she associated with and did business with is coming to light. Today we had two more. She added Minerva Peña and Philip Cowan to the mix. These people are out there telling everybody different. You have organizations, or clubs, I would want to call them, like TVEA and BEST, endorsing these individuals who have stolen millions and millions of dollars from the district and from their own members. Yet they stand in front and protect them, and they go and retaliate about to candidates like Frankie and myself in a public forum by text. You have these individuals who are not representing the members, but representing themselves in supporting these crooks that have gone out there and stolen money from you guys. Philip, Minerva, Prissy, Drew, Sylvia. They have gone out there and taken the money, and it's coming out in a federal courthouse what they have done. We have been telling the community what is at stake and who are the individuals that are involved in this corrupt bribery scheme led by one individual, but a club of members who are sitting right now at the school district making these decisions. And Frankie and Tim and the community out there and Vito, they are going to have a meeting November the 4th.
Yeah.
November the 4th, while they still sit there to continue to make these decisions for the whole community. And guess what those decisions are going to be? The last hurrah, they lose. Steal as much as I can before I leave.
Or get arrested.
yeah, and that's unfortunate. We have we had alluded to this earlier. You touched on it, on Erasmo being mentioned in the tape, which he was reluctant to go and participate with what they were doing.
Erasmo was mentioned. It was mentioned by Sylvia Atkinson, and I think I mentioned it earlier. Her exact words.
And that's the thing that what they just what I just flipped off. Sorry,
Yeah.
I have a trigger finger, but it's
Yeah,
true.
I know you do, man. You gotta stop it. Stop it.
These people that we vote for and have voted for time and time again, because we look at them as the hope of to do what's right, especially with Drew Brown. She's the pillar of the community, and she just became part of the good old boy system, along
Vito,
with everyone else.
this is exactly what came from Sylvia's mouth. On one person, she only mentioned one person that didn't want to go through this agenda crap that she was pushing. And she reflected by she actually said this. We had one board member that was a little skittish These are I'm quoting verbatim. Because he likes to be involved in than he should sometimes. In other words, he likes to have more information. He wants more, and she didn't want to give him that information. That's why he was skittish about what she was trying to push. Only one. Only one. She only mentions one, and she mentions him by name, Erasmo.
Yeah, and right now, poor Erasmo is in a straight jacket in a rubber room, bouncing off the walls because he wants to be right here in this seat where I'm at. Don't worry, buddy. Wherever
And he's
you're,
like this, la 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 la.
pobrecita. Tomorrow he's gonna wake up like a broken piñata. And I've seen more life in a mortuary than this morning's show that he did. It was so humdrum. It's just, oh my god, it was crazy. But this is what. How long? They stated that he's been recording everyone since 2013. So we're right now. All the trial, what it sounds like, it's being focused on the bride. So
See,
it's just been.
it's not just one. It's not just one.
Well, I know that, but it's imagine how many other people have been videotaped. How
That's
many
right.
how many other people are on camera, on audio? You're talking about board members that there's a photo flying around that they're all together eating somewhere where it's Baltasar, Drew, Minerva, Sylvia. I mean, they're all sitting together. I mean, that's a photo that was taken by somebody that just happened to be there. So now we're looking at, how many more of these board members fell into this spider web that she started. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them right now biting their head. Oh, I hope they didn't videotape me. So, I mean, guys, if y'all have names, we need to throw them out there because this is the corrupt Brownsville we live in. And it's unfortunate because in all these people that may be mentioned are people that are elected officials. This is ethics violations. This is people that we entrust because they all have jobs that don't need to take money. But look, I mean, my candidate is taking $2,000. What does that tell the community? Has BISD, the seats at BISD have become the new welfare for the people that are sitting in them. They're sitting in there to take money and there's no accountability. But now it's all the light is being shed. And it's unfortunate that it has come down to this, but this is something that Erasmo knew, and and all of us knew a little something about it because Brownsville isn't big enough to hide secrets, and somebody will always talk. And this is where we're at today. Y'all, thank God for you two that are going to the courthouse and letting the public know what's going on. And Frankie being a part of this show since the inception of it, he knows what Erasmo has said. He knows what's going on. He's informed, and it's sad because there's people out there that are voting for our opponent, thinking, "Oh no, these are the good guys." Now you're starting to know that they're filling their pockets with your money, not anyone else's. It's your money, the community's money.
The sad part is that when they got elected, got sworn in, they swore they would do their best. When you get sworn in, you're sworn in. You raise your hand, place your, I guess you place your hand on the Bible, right, Carlos? And you swear to do the best. You're a servant of first, our students. Second, our parents. And then third, the employees, BISD. And they failed miserably. They went against everything that they pledged loyalty to. They went the opposite way. They did a 180 and walked away with the money, with the bribes, selling votes, just doing the wrong thing. We need to hold them accountable. And The day of reckoning is coming for them. It is coming.
Guys, going back to very quickly, somebody spoke about the attorney. Remember when Miss Laura Perez Reyes was adamant that she wanted him to be on the agenda, and they were all against it.
Yeah.
Now we know why. Because Minerva needed those $7,000.
Correct.
Because Drew Brown needed him on that board. Prisi Roca Tipton as well. Phil Cowan as well. Now, Carlos, Vito, Tim, now it all makes sense. The first day, correct me if I'm wrong, the first day that Sylvia Atkinson went back into the boardroom, who's the board member that gave her a hug?
Philip, wasn't it?
Doesn't it all make sense now? What do you think he said? You're not gonna rat me out, are you, right, bud? Guys, it all makes sense. These individuals colluded together to get rid of Dr. Sendejas, colluded together to do what they did to Carlos, colluded together to do what they did to Erasmo Castro. But they will not get rid of a school board attorney who's got the past that he does. These candidates supported by Drew Brown, by Baltasar Salazar, are okay with having a registered sex offender in their camp. It's okay. You know why it's okay? Because they're money hungry, because they want to hold on to that power. What does that tell you about them? That they do not want to let go of that grip. And they don't care if it comes at the cost of your kid, of your family, of anything, because at the end of the day, all that matters to them is power. All that matters to them is power, guys. So I hope our community who still hasn't gone out to vote for the right candidates. Do not vote for Baltasar Salazar Slate. Do not vote for Philip Cowan. Do not vote for Jessica Gonzalez. Do not vote for Daniela Valdez. Do not vote for Denise Garza. Do not vote for Eddie Garcia. If you vote for these people, you're voting for allowing for corruption. You're supporting people who encourage and do not put a stop to registered sex offenders. If you're okay with that, well then, by God, I don't know what to tell you anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And let me, on another note, guys, I don't know if you guys have been getting a lot of stuff, on this reading academy for the employees. Has anybody done anything like that to you guys?
No.
No.
I'm sorry?
The reading academy. So what they're forcing the teachers to do is, and I'll read something real quick to you guys. It says, "Good afternoon. Can anything be done about the reading academy? It is absolutely ridiculous. So much reading. Who has time for this? In a year when we are going through a pandemic and teaching in a method never done before, parents contacting at all hours through Class Dojo, remind, text, and phone calls, while others that don't even bother to log in. And now this. What is this district thinking making us do this? Don't we have enough on our plate? They're forcing these teachers with so much work, so much petty work. Some of this, especially this reading academy, they're forcing these teachers to do it without any compensation, guys. They're making them take this because it's mandatory by TEA, but they're forcing them to do it without any compensation. That will stop November the 3rd. There is no need to push these teachers so much, especially through this pandemic, through this stress. And now, because all board members are in collusion with stealing from the district, these teachers deserve the respect. You have lost the value of an educator, of a BIZ staff. The BIZ board has lost their moral compass and they have forgotten who and what is important. Stop giving them ridiculous tasks to be completed overnight. There is no need for this. Let's look at to see what we can do. First and foremost, vote this slate out, vote these individuals out, get the people that are going to bring back your voice and the respect to every educator here and every BIZ board member. This needs to stop, guys.
It most certainly does, but it takes everyone in our community to stand up, grab the ballot, and vote. Vote them out. Vote Viro Cardenas. Vote Frankie Olivo. Vote Erasmo.
You gotta say that. Erasmo 2.0. Come on. Say it.
Sylvia, give back the money.
All right, you know.
Get better.
It's because I'm ugly and fat. That's why it sounds like.
Not Snoopy. Not all the commissioners were mentioned. The only ones that were mentioned was Neerith Kalansky, John Cowan, Mayor Trey Mendez, and Ben Neese. So not all of them were mentioned. So maybe there is two of them that are still straight and want to do things that are great or good.
Don't
Hey Tim.
That about my commissioner.
Hey Tim, I want to bring this up. Now it all makes sense. Now I'm getting this little bloop, 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 bloop. Now it all makes sense, guys. Why after 10 months they gave the superintendent a year extension, gave him a raise. He was part of that collusion.
Oh.
He is part of that collusion. He does their dirty work.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence, guys. I'll give you money. I'll give you a year security, and you do what we tell you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvia is like a mafia. She's like Mr. Hernandez says it best, la a la Capona.
That's right.
She was ruthless. She had her hands in Cameron County. They were working on a real estate deal. She had her hands with Nurit Golonsky at the city. She had her hands everywhere, guys. According to Carlos, according to the testimony today, she had her hands all the way into Austin. Now they have their hands here at the district, and they try to cement their hands by making sure that this superintendent is secure. But again, it came with the price.
Yeah.
And she even boasted that the state board had offered her a position, but they were keeping it low down. They were keeping it real low key. She said she would do anything that needed to be done would be done. And of course, all levels of government, it was going to be done. And it was just
It was about just money, man.
It's
Plain greed.
And at the price of our community.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what's sad about
it. So anyway, I want to go back to what I was saying about those reading academies. You know, there's some of these teachers are just overwhelmed, and I think that we can suggest maybe a Saturday, if they need to do these academies, that they can come in on a Saturday and get compensated. Give the teacher the option to come in and do it when they can. It's not an obligation that needs to be. It's an obligation, but it doesn't need to be done tomorrow. There is a time frame, I think, and I'm not sure. Don't quote me. I might be wrong. I think they give these teachers like 20, something like that to complete the modules. And they're being forced to do it. Maybe compensate them $200 a module, $400 a module. I'm not sure. There's like 20 some modules they need to do, and they're being forced to do this with no compensation whatsoever. Guys, I'm sorry you guys are going through this. I do apologize. I don't apologize for the current board members that are there. We will get them out. It's your vote that's going to be important. But I do apologize for them treating you the way you've been being treated these last few months and years. But you must vote these individuals out. Don't stay here and act on what your friend has been telling you. We have a crazy guy named Tito Mata going out there and blessing these individuals and saying that these guys are the heaven sent and the best thing that we can do. We have other individuals like Berta Guerra coming out here and saying, Minerva Peña is not guilty. It came out today. I saw it. I saw what she was involved in and how she was involved in. You cannot tell me anything otherwise, because I sat there and I heard the testimony. I saw videos and I saw a lot of other things that are going to come out that I'd rather not say till tomorrow. That way everybody tunes in. We are going to turn this into the YouTube channel, so everybody's going to have to go get the link, guys, because maybe tomorrow we'll start everything over there. YouTube, guys, link it. But see, it's getting to the point to where this bubble that was created has burst, and now we are seeing everything that was there, and everything goes back to this current board under the guise of Sylvia Atkinson and her evil ways has infected not only the school district, the county, because she says she's got county individuals that she has done business with, the same kind of business that she got caught with. We just don't know who they are yet. They haven't brought them up yet, but that's what she says. She also says it, and she names individuals in the city, and we've already said those names.
Carlos, who do you think at the county?
I mean, could be property, could be contracts, could be the health insurance, could be who knows. You know,
Insurance.
she had her
Wow.
hands into everything, guys. She had her hands into anything that she could think that she could make money. Didn't matter where it was, and she used these. It doesn't matter if it's in a black room.
Hey, Carlos, who's Daniela's dad?
I don't know. Not me.
No.
Huh?
Isn't it the county? Isn't it Daniela's dad, Joey Lopez, county commissioner?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The names weren't given out yet. You know, maybe they will tomorrow. We'll keep you guys in tune and try to get as much information out there as possible. I mean, we can only tell you what we've heard and what we've seen. You know, the media's there. They're doing their best to get it out there as well too. You know, but you're talking about 8 hours of testimony. You're talking about hundreds and hundreds of hours of recordings and videotapes and people, and just everything's being connected and dots are being lines are being connected. I mean, it's just crazy what has happened.
Speaking about tomorrow, Rodrigo Moreno will still be on the stand. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's actually getting right now. He's getting the defense is cross-examining him.
Okay,
that's where we're at right now. But they've called out 3 more witnesses. I wasn't there. I had to go to the restroom.
What? You're defense?
Well, shoot, imagine 8 hours of holding it, and then you're like, the moment I leave, they say who's going to be there. But Tim was there. My back was there. So why don't you? Tim might be able to tell you.
You have they're thinking, the defense is going to have maybe a half a day with Rodrigo Moreno, and then after he's done, they will go to Cesar Lopez. They will call Cesar Lopez in. Wow. Then Ismael Garcia, the former superintendent, and they mentioned possibly Philip Cowan tomorrow, but maybe not. I don't think so, because it's going to be with the testimony of Cesar Lopez and Smiley, or is Ismael Garcia.
Who is Ismael Garcia? Who is Ismael Garcia?
He's a former superintendent at Rio Hondo. Woo!
Yeah. One of these days, I'll take you out for coffee and we can talk about that. You probably want to get educated. I don't want to educate you on this show. I don't think you deserve that one.
Yeah.
She's a little upset that her aunt was taking money.
Oh, is that who she is?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder.
Oh.
Hey, I'm not saying that Minerva took the money. Sylvia Atkinson said.
Yeah.
Difference. But that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Not Carlos.
And that's on the record.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sergio Soto heard that. It's on the record.
It's on the record.
Anyway,
Hey, guys, very quickly, Tim, Carlos,
yeah.
Sam wants to know, you said, Carlos, earlier that the defense came out swinging. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Like, what did they say? How did they, like, just give us a little bit more details.
Well, I mean, what I saw, it was almost a day and a half of the government, giving their side and presenting the case, and then so when it was cross-examination, Noel came out swinging. I mean, he did a real good job in making sure that the jury saw, and of course they're all tactics, right? And try to make sure that their main witness was being discredited, right? So he threw out that he's an illegal alien, that he's working under the FBI since 2013, that he records everybody, so how can he be trusted? His plans and stuff like that. So, I mean, he was making a pretty good point, trying to make it. But at the end of the day, guys, at the end of the day, you look at the recording. You look at the recording and you see Sylvia Atkinson collecting money and putting it into her purse. Nowhere did Rodrigo Moreno say, "Give me that, let me put it in my pocket." It was directed, it was acted, and it was taken by one individual. which was Sylvia Atkinson. And you saw that on multiple recordings.
Yeah.
So you can discredit all you want. You can go out there and you can discredit the witness. You can say that he's a illegal alien, that his wife is an illegal alien, that the only thing he was there for was for the money. But you cannot take away the fact that Sylvia acted alone in putting that money in her pocket. Well, but that's what a defense does. The defense goes out there and tries to do whatever they can to make sure that they can discredit the witness that's talking about their defendant or their I guess what would you say it, their client. But the guy's good. No, he's good. I mean, he went out there and he did what he could at the beginning, and towards the end, he had completely, in my personal experience, he had completely lost the way. It turned out to be more like attack on the witness, and forget about the facts of what we actually saw, what the jury actually saw on the video, what the jury actually heard on the audio.
Yeah.
Multiple times the same thing over and over. I want to make money. I want to sell this. I've got the power to be able to manipulate the votes at the school district. I got the power to manipulate the votes at the county. I've got the power to manipulate the votes at the city level. I got the power to manipulate the votes at manipulate the votes at TSC. So you're looking at that, and okay, let's say Rodrigo Moreno wasn't asked. We don't like him for whatever reason. It doesn't change the fact that she went out there and she stole the money.
Right. I took it from an undercover agent.
Right. That still doesn't make it. He could be the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
The fact is that Sylvia still took the bribe. Sylvia still went out there and paid $2,000 to Minerva Peña in Phillip County. Sylvia still went out there and collected, in her words, $25,000 per individual that ran for the city.
Well, guys, I'd like to stay longer, but I'm cooking a banana bread for Erasmo in case something happens, so I could put a pile in it. So I don't
know. We'll do this again tomorrow, guys. Before we leave, put up the link to the YouTube. Go out there and subscribe. It's going to be easier for you guys to hear this. We might even be able to do it live right out as soon as we walk out of the courthouse. Maybe we can do a spot on there through a YouTube live video or something.
No, Carlos.
You will be there. Don't matter what you do.
I have a show now, so we have to do it on my show.
Hey, back up.
Vito, I need to come to Carlos's defense on that Jeanette Peña. Mira, mija, we're just saying what happened today. If you're gonna get upset at somebody, get upset at Sylvia. Get upset at your aunt, because she's the one that took the money. Now, if you want to know who I am, ask Gloria and Silver Torres. They're history teachers. I was a history teacher too, as well. They know me, and I know them. Stand-up people. I love them. Great teachers. There's Gloria already retired. Silver's still working. But don't throw jabs. Please don't throw jabs at Carlos and start making these little things, because we're just saying what happened. If you're going to get upset at Minerva, because she took the money. It was a choice. She didn't have to take the money. She took the money. We find out that it wasn't for her organization, the Light of Hope or whatever it was. Maybe she kept it. Go and ask her. Call her up. Say tia, or whatever she is. Call her up and ask her. Hold her accountable, because we are. Her, Philip, Drew, Prissy. We're holding them all accountable. So please don't get upset at Carlos or me, because we're saying the truth. It came out. We're not the ones that are making it up. We're just saying what happened. Thank you. Have a good night, Jeanette.
Carlos, last words?
Guys, thanks for having us. It's been a long day. It's been very rewarding from all the calls and the comments, and just to stay strong. especially the votes, that everybody's going out there and voting, making sure that they get their family and friends to go out and vote for us, because they do want to change. As you can see now, this would have been nice if we would have had this maybe, I don't know, a month, 2 months ago, before actually the voting started, so people can actually know exactly what the candidate is all about and why they're voting for these individuals. If we would have known this, and how far this bribery and this corruption went in, maybe they would have made a huge difference. Maybe some of these people wouldn't even ran. But we really appreciate your continued support, your prayers especially, and just go out there, make a difference. November 3rd is coming. Remember November, guys. Remember November.
Frankie, take us home.
Sherry, it's Erasmo Castro YouTube channel. You just Google Erasmo Castro YouTube, and it will come out. Subscribe. Also, I gotta throw mine in too. Sports Talk with Frankie Olivo. Google me and make sure you subscribe. I have a show every Sunday at 11 in the morning, trying to promote BISD, Rio Grande Valley, Brownsville athletes, student athletes, as much as I can. So Erasmo Castro YouTube channel and Sports Talk with Frankie Olivo. Google those two, and please subscribe and follow and show some love. This has been a very entertaining 2 days. Thank you so much, Tim, Carlos, for doing this for our community. It's very important for the word to be to be delivered. We have seen how everything that Erasmo Castro has been saying is finally coming into fruition. This person had her hands in the city with Nurit, had her hands in the county with some commissioner, had her hands in the state of Texas in Austin, had her hands in everything, in BISD. Again, we see how Baltasar Salazar, Drew Brown are so adamant. They are so adamantly supporting these individuals. Phil Cowan did not want to get rid of Baltasar Salazar. Phil Cowan gave Sylvia a hug the first day she was back. Now it's all falling into place. Now the puzzle is finally able to see its true colors. It is not a coincidence, guys, that these individuals, our opponents, are running for BISD. They want to make sure that they have their hands in the cookie jar. They want to make sure that when Sylvia Atkinson goes to prison, her family is still in control of BISD. Is that what you want? I do not want another 4 years of Minerva Peña. I do not want another 4 years of Philip Cowan. I do not want Denise Garza 2 years. I do not want Eddie Garcia 4 years. I do not want Daniela Lopez 4 years. I want these people out of here. I want to give our community a seat at the table, because we as a community will be able to decide what is best for all of us. We have seen they have a track record. They have a track record of everything that has happened, and now it's coming out to light. So I encourage and motivate all our friends and family who have yet to vote to do so. You know who to vote for. You know the people, that the individuals who have come on this platform day in and day out, and have promised you ownership, a seat at the table. Our opponents do not offer you that. Our opponents do not answer to their associations to registered sex offenders. Our opponents do not denounce Sylvia Atkinson and her misdealings at the district. We offer you ownership at the district, a seat at the table through this platform, through our friendship, through community activism. Together, guys, November the 3rd, we will do great things for BISD. Thank you so much, guys. Erasmo Castro tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
Yes. Thank you for coming on my show.
All right. Let me close. Let me say a couple of words. Don't forget the power of one. As Carlos said, remember November. As of yesterday, 28,602 people have voted in the BISD race. And please don't forget the AOB endorsees, which is Carlos, Frankie, Coach, and Erasmo. And we are not forgetting about you, Viro. We are looking for you. 1, 2, 3, and then Erasmo 4, and you 5. You have like 10 or something. I don't know.
We're getting there. Hopefully by the end.
We love you, Viro. Okay.
Well, we'll see y'all tomorrow night again, being that I'm in the hot seat until this trial is over, which I'm starting to like it.
Peínate, peínate.
Hey.
Guys, thank you for coming on. We'll see y'all tomorrow night for some more live action coming out of Federal Courthouse. Y'all have a nice evening, and we'll chat tomorrow.